Making money online has never been easier, but 90% of people do it in the wrong way. They overanalyze, they overthink, they have complex funnels, they overthink every single step in their business. So in this video, I'm going to explain the easiest way to build your personal brand, your micro personal brand, to sell your knowledge, to sell your coaching offer, to sell whatever service you have for high ticket prices and have fun while doing so. It has 6 steps, okay? And I'm going to explain every single one of them. The first step is to understand what type of problem are you trying to solve with your service, with your content. And for that, you have 2 ways. One of them is to look back at your life and understand, okay, what problems have I solved? It can either be in fitness, in health, in business, whatever it is, you can pick that, deconstruct it, and try to sell it as a service. But if you don't have any life experience, you are a young dude, you have no knowledge whatsoever about anything, what I recommend is to you just fucking go online and learn something. Either it's email marketing, coaching, ads, mindset, like whatever. You can literally like pick anything that you want and sell it as a service. It's as easy as this. Like you don't need to overcomplicate this. For example, I have a client of mine who sells mindset coaching, transformation coaching. So even something as intangible as mindset coaching compared to business coaching, for example, you can sell it for 4K, 5K. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'll keep going and explain the rest. So after you pick something that you want to help people with, the second step is actually to decide who you want to help. Do you want to help 9-to-5 workers, fitness coaches, health coaches, business coaches? Decide and build your ICP sheet. Now, when it comes to the ICP, again, I want to keep this as simple as possible. The ICP means ideal customer profile, okay? And so what does this mean is when you are creating content or advertising your services, you want to make your service as specific as possible to a very specific person. Because if you try to target everyone, you are not targeting anyone. So picking someone, at least in the beginning, picking someone very specific, like the ones that I've just said, 9-to-5 workers, maybe engineers, health coaches, then your content can be even more specific and people will feel seen. But for example, later down the line, people that are making already millions with coaching or services, they can be even more broad because they have more case studies. And so when you have a bigger digital presence, you can start targeting more people. But especially when you are starting out, picking a very specific person and solving a very specific problem, it's the best way, because then you can adjust for simplicity and not complexity with one deliverable and having one transformation. This is literally the best way, okay? Not only that, but when you have your ICP, your ideal customer profile, very dialed in, then you can adjust not only the content, just like I was saying, I feel like a broken record, but even the formality of your voice tone, the way that you speak, the way that you can edit your videos, all of that, like everything just becomes so much clearer. For example, Ali Abdaal, most of you guys probably know him. He has a 15K word ICP sheet. 15K, 15,000. That's insane. When you have everything very specified like that, things become much, much easier. Not only that, but I actually forgot to mention, but when you have the ICP very dialed in, you can even understand, okay, what type of books, what type of movies, how does my ICP occupy their time, what they are afraid of, where they want to get, what are their goals, their aspirations. So all of that is used in the way that you show yourself online. Just a Google document, simple Google document, giving it a name, an age. Just start out by simplifying things. You can even have a type of MVP ICP, so a minimal viable product, but as an ICP. So I will get to the MVP if you guys don't know what it is about. So yeah, just keep things very simple at the start. Again, this is the laziest way to start a personal brand. So you've decided who you want to help and how you want to help them. Now let's create the product or the service. And starting this, a lot of people make the mistake of creating a full course with a full platform, with an app. Like, fucking forget that shit. Like, it doesn't matter. You have no money whatsoever, so don't spend your time creating the product yet. You're not an engineer. Like, Get the client first and offer them a MVP, which is the minimal viable product, which is what I was talking about when it comes to the ICP. When it comes to the minimal viable product, all you need to offer your clients to start with is your one-on-one access and maybe one or two resources, and a one type of communication channel. That's all you fucking need. Trust me. And people will still buy it for high ticket prices. For example, one of my clients, the one that does mindset coaching, he has no course. He has no Discord server, no community. All he has is one-on-one access to the people and maybe one or two resources when it comes to meditation and breathwork. And he sells that for 4.5k. And he already did 15k revenue in about 1.5 months. That's insane. Not having anything built and just offering your knowledge. That's how powerful coaching is and personal branding is. So keep things very simple. And when it comes to the MVP, the pricing of it, if you are just starting out, no case studies, like nothing, no results whatsoever, what I recommend is still having high ticket prices and having a minimum of 2k price point. I don't recommend anything lower than that because there's not enough pain, not enough financial or emotional investment for people to take action. And so what you want to have with a high ticket pricing, even when you are starting out, is you want to make people as invested as possible to create a flywheel of results. So then people take action, you have the results, you can use them as testimonials for your content. So everything is like a flywheel. Make sure you charge high ticket prices. If you're charging like 500 to 300, you don't have a business, you have like a hobby which is making you money. Avoid it as maximum as possible, all right? But if you have, for example, 2 or 3 case studies, I recommend having a minimum of 3k, 3.5k in a 3-month program. This is just the baseline, depending obviously on what your niche is. If you're a fitness coach or a health coach or business coach or a growth operator, like everything depends. But I want you guys to not stress about this. As a baseline, minimum of minimum 2k if no case studies. If you have case studies, 3k, and maybe a 3-month time frame for the transformation. And even when it comes to the offer itself, you don't want just to offer transactional type of coaching. What I mean by this is you don't want just to offer weekly check-ins and that's it. No, like you don't want to scam people. You want a transformational package. So over the course of 3 months, you want to get people from point A to point B. And not, okay, let's put it this way. You want to make people go from point A to point Z. And not from point A to point B, back to point A, back to point H. Like, help people truly and make a transformation in their lives. Not only like weekly check-ins, weekly calls, and that's it. That's like a bandage to your clients. So make sure that you are at least giving some type of value. Now, just to remind you guys, one problem, one ICP, one solution / transformation. Now, how will you put yourself in front of the people that you want to work with? It's very simple. It's with a personal brand. This is the sauce, okay? When you are starting out, it's normal that you don't have like the most amount of knowledge possible. So when you are starting out, the type of content that you need to make is personal content. Share. Yes, people do care about you. And I want to remind you that like you are not optimizing for vanity metrics. Views do not fucking matter. You should optimize your content and the way that you position yourself for growth and for financial stability and not for vanity metrics. You don't want to go viral. That's like vanity metrics will just keep you broke. You are attracting low quality people from third world countries who have no money to invest in your program. And so optimize for growth, for transformation, for nurture, for trust. All of that will bring you money on the long term. It's a compounding effect. Stop caring about going viral or having the most amount of views and followers. That doesn't fucking matter. Again, for example, let's say that you have 100 to 300, maybe 1,000 views per video. You only need realistically 1 or 2 clients paying you like 3k, so you making like 6 to 8k a month. Okay, this is simple math. 2 clients per month. That's all you need. If you make consistent content in a way that feels good to your truth, to your values, to your morals, and to your story. Do not force content, that's a trap. When you start sharing your values, your story online, you will start attracting people that are attracted to your story and the way that you think. This is your unfair advantage in the current market. The market, it's very, very fucking saturated. We have thousands of online coaches, all of them, they sound and look the same. Your unfair advantage, again, is your stories and your unique personality. Use that in your content as maximum as possible, okay? Because then you start attracting and people will start booking calls with you, they want to work with you, they want your transformation. Now, again, I want to remind you guys, people don't buy coaching, they buy coaches. So make sure you are the coach that people want to work with. Now, when you start having some clients, maybe one or two clients, what I recommend is to get those clients the best results possible and invest most of your money back into the business. Hire an editor and a commission-based appointment setter. I'm not going to go in depth on this because, again, this is the laziest way to do it, or at least to start a personal brand. This is the best way to put it. Get those clients' results, use them as testimonials, as case studies, and then with the things that you've learned from teaching those people your knowledge, start making content about knowledge. So you go from only sharing about your values and morals to, actual value content. Now, again, there are some nuances to this. We have pillars of content to use, but that's for another video. Now, when it comes to socials, Instagram, it's better for growth and to reach more people. It's not the best one. It's like Instagram, it's not the best platform to make people convert into buying. So YouTube, it's by far the best platform to make people buy from you and create trust with you, because this is where people spend the most time with you. They hear you talk, they hear your voice. Instagram, in like a 1 minute reel, it's very hard to make people like buy a 3K package from you. So focus on YouTube when starting out, and Instagram, just to reach more people. Jesus, it's fucking getting hot here. My laptop is burning. Fuck. When it comes to editing the videos, don't overthink. All you need to start is simple videos like this. Just record, yap to the camera for 15 to 20 minutes every single video, and this is realistically all you need in the beginning. Now, there's something very important that I need to mention, which is actually part of the next point, but I want to just end this point with this thing. If you have some type of background in cinematography, in photography, or anything else, make sure you use that into your content. Because I actually talked about this in a newsletter of mine, by the way, link is in the description, which is a couple years ago, people were overdoing their content production. A lot of effects, a lot of edited thumbnails, a lot of special effects, and then the pendulum went the other way. People were just making raw videos, like not really trying, and that kind of became a viral format. Now the pendulum is kind of, balancing itself, where people, okay, you can make raw content, authentic content, just like this one that you guys are seeing, but you can kind of mix up with a bit of, trying, a bit of cinematography, a bit of effects and B-roll. So make sure that you find your voice, but most importantly, keep yourself authentic to yourself, okay? Now, the fifth point is brand identity. You need to set yourself apart from the coaching market, because it's saturated as hell. Everyone looks and sounds the same, just like I was saying. And the simple tweaks can already set yourself apart from the market. Your story and authenticity, color grading, fonts, colors across your brand, voice tonality. And for some examples of this, for example, Daniel Dallin, he has a lot of warm, orangey colors in his videos. If you watch his videos on YouTube, you can already tell what I'm talking about. Or William Brown is always using a white t-shirt in his videos with a coffee in his hand. This is a brand consistency, and people, when think about William Brown, they already think about the pose that he does in every single one of these videos. Or even Nero Knowledge. Every single video that he has a white tank top, I'm actually using one, and the black sunglasses. So find something that fits within your voice, something that you like, obviously, and use that as one of the aspects that sets yourself apart from the market. Just like I was saying in the beginning of the video, find something that fits within who you are, but if you don't like, you can always adapt, but at least try. At least try. If you at least try, you are already ahead of 99% of people online. Now, to finish off this video, okay, you are online in online business. What does this mean? You need to always keep learning things, sales, content creation, even psychology is very, very helpful. Don't be afraid to sell, okay? You have a service slash product, so put it in front of people. Talk about it. Put your Calendly link so people can book a call with you, like in every single platform that you have. Another important point, simplicity scales, complexity fails. The amount of times that I caught myself working on back-end systems when I was not even at that point yet, like it's astonishing. Do not worry about things that do not move the needle forward. And again, when it comes to the needle thing, like focus on needle moving tasks every single day. Create content and reach out to potential clients on every single platform. Another important thing, courses are becoming obsolete in 2025 onwards. What people want is coaches, not the coaching, just like I was saying, and products are supposed to be attached to the coach and not the other way around. So focus on one-on-one personal feedback to your clients. This is what people want. The amount of free information that we have online, it's already enough to make people have some type of success. What people want is the coach, is his personal feedback, his perspective, his opinion. This is why people invest into different coaches. And finally, don't listen to anybody's opinion that doesn't have the type of lifestyle that you want. This is very important as well. So yeah, if you have, by the way, some type of knowledge that you want to scale with, and you have to have a lean, simple, fun business and make tens of thousands, there's a link down below. I'm not going to try to sell you anything, just a simple conversation to understand if I can help you. So yeah, thank you for watching and bye.